Good morning students. In this video I am going to explain about magnetism. So this is our fifth unit. Fifth unit is having again two parts, magnetism and superconductivity. Magnetism is a small part. In this we are going to study basic definitions of magnetism, how the magnetism is erased in the materials and types of magnetic materials, as we already know, diamagnetic, paramagnetic and ferromagnetic materials, and applications of magnetic materials means transformer cores, magnetic recording, and optical devices. These are all mainly basic topics in this magnetism. So we will go for this magnetism basic terms and definitions. So we already know the magnetic dipole. So what is this magnetic dipole? So magnetic dipole is generally a small magnet, a microscopic to subatomic dimensions generated due to the current loop. So electrons circulating around the atomic nuclei, electrons spinning around their axis and rotating, positively charged atomic nuclei, all are magnetic dipoles. Means if a material is carrying a current, if magnetic field is developed around it, two poles are exist, that is north pole and south pole. The two poles which are present, those are called as the dipole. Having north pole and the south pole produces the magnetic field around it. Magnetic field is having imaginary lines of force, having a finite force around it. North pole is having the force in around the north pole, and south pole is having the force. So existing the magnet with two poles around it, which is having the electrons spinning around their axis, is said to be the magnetic dipole. So single pole does not exist. It's mandatory to exist the north pole and south pole for any magnet. So single north pole or single south pole does not exist for any type of magnet. So magnetic dipole is referred to as smallest magnetic unit having two poles. Next one is the magnetic dipole moment. These are all the definitions. The strength of the magnetic dipole. To measure the magnetic pole strength, we need some, it means some terminology and some parameter also, that is said to be the magnetic moment. So the strength of the magnetic dipole is represented by magnetic dipole moment. It is measured for dipole's ability to align itself according to the direction of the external magnetic field. So we know that Earth is a huge magnet having the magnetic field. So if you keep the tiny magnet on the earth, how it aligns depends on the external magnetic field, or the magnetic field depends on the dipole moment of the its a tiny magnet. The magnetic moment can be considered to be a vector quantity with direction perpendicular to the current loop in the right hand rule direction. Magnetic dipole moment is defined as the maximum amount of torque caused by the magnetic force on a dipole that arises per unit value surrounding the magnetic field in vacuum. This is already we mentioned that the strength of the magnetic dipole experienced by the external magnetic field, that is, we can say that the external force is imagine like a torque, the rotating force under the direction of the external field, that is a torque experienced by the small magnet under the external magnetic field, that can be written as tau is equal to mu into B. This mu is nothing but the magnetic moment, and B is the external magnetic field applied. And next, magnetic field strength H. So this is already we know the strength of the particular magnet. Any magnetic field force experienced by the unit north pole placed at that point. So we can say that the strength of the or intensity of the magnetic field per unit volume or per unit space. So here we can understand that the force of the intensity of the magnetic field at any point in the magnetic field. So that can be calculated, that can be measured by like this. If you keep a magnet of that north pole of the magnet, if you consider the force experienced by the north pole per unit space is said to be the magnetic field strength. That is, the strength of the magnetic field per unit space or per unit volume is said to be the magnetic field strength H. It is measured in ampere per meters in SI system. And next, magnetization. If you keep normal material in the magnetic field, how it is magnetized means how much time it will take and how it responds for the magnetic field. These can be measured by the magnetization, or we can say that intensity of magnetization. If you keep a iron material in the external magnetic field, how much time it will take and how it responds to the external magnetic field to convert itself into the magnet. So magnetization is the measure of the magnetism of the magnetic materials. It is defined as the magnetic moment per unit volume. So it is used to calculate magnetic moment per unit volume and denoted by m. The unit of magnetization in SI system is still to be the is said to be ampere per meters, as magnetization induced by magnetic field m is proportional to h. So magnetization is directly depends on the magnetic field strength h, that is m proportional to h. M is equal to psi into h. Psi is a constant value is said to be susceptibility, and otherwise you can write psi is equal to m upon h. So we can say that magnetization M depends on the magnetic field strength H, and it is also said to be it is a measure of measure of magnetism of the materials. And next definition is the magnetic susceptibility psi. The magnetic susceptibility of a material is a measure of the with which the material can be magnetized, means how the magnetic field can be easily affects the materials, that will be calculated as the magnetic susceptibility. It is defined as the magnetization produced in the material per unit applied magnetic field. So how the magnetic field is induced in the materials is calculated by the magnetic susceptibility. That is, the materials having high susceptibility are easily magnetized. So susceptibility is the representation of the magnetization of the materials. Means if the susceptibility is high, that materials can be easily magnetized for the external magnetic field. And next, magnetic flux. So we know that the magnetic field is imagined to be a huge magnetic lines of force. That magnetic lines of force are said to be the magnetic flux. So that the lines of induction are collectively called as the flux. The magnetic flux is the measurement of the total magnetic field which passes through a given area. So how much lines of force are passing through the unit area is said to be the magnetic flux phi. So the SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. Magnetic induction or magnetic flux density. So this is important. The magnetic field is imagined to be a group of imaginary lines of force is said to be the magnetic flux. The magnetic flux per unit area is defined as magnetic flux density. Means B. Magnetic induction or magnetic flux density is, we can understand from this diagram, how many lines of force are passing through the per unit area perpendicular to that area is said to be the, you can see that red color arrow mark represents the area and blue color arrow marks represents the lines of force. How many lines of force are passing through the particular unit area represents the density of the magnetic flux, or it is also said to be the magnetic induction. Magnetic induction is the number of force lines of force passing through the unit area of cross section perpendicularly, and the SI unit of the magnetic induction B is Weber per square meters. We know that the magnetic lines of force are measured in Weber, and that lines of force per unit area, that is Weber per meter square, represents the magnetic induction B. In CGS unit it is measured in Tesla. So we know that the 1 Gauss is equal 10 power minus 4 Tesla. This is the units of the magnetic induction, that is Weber per meter square or Tesla or Gauss. Generally, Tesla is usually used unit in the measurement of the magnetic induction. And next, relation between the B and H. We know that H is the strength of the magnetic field, M is the magnetization, and B is the magnetic induction. These three terms are very important. H is the magnetic field strength, means how much intensity of the magnetic field will be there per unit area, represents the magnetic field strength. Magnetization M, how the materials are magnetized, is represented by the M. It is directly depends on the strength, and it is represented with easily with the susceptibility psi. And next one is the magnetic induction. Magnetic induction represents the how many lines of force are passing through the unit area, means Weber per meter square is the unit. It represents the magnetic field density. So that is Weber per meter square B. So these three terms are very important, B, H and M. These three are very important in this magnetism lesson. From these three, we have to understand the relation also. We need to understand the relation between the B and H. We already understand the relation between the M and H. M, M represents the magnetization, H represents the strength of magnetic field. Both are directly depends. Those are associated with a constant psi. Psi is equal to M upon H. And here B and H. B is the magnetic field induction, H is the magnetic field intensity. When a material is kept in the magnetic field, two types of induction arises, one due to the magnetizing field H and other due to the magnetization M of the material itself. So when you kept a material in the magnetic field, due to the external field develops the magnetic intensity in the material, that is H. The material itself also responds to the magnetic field and it will get magnetized. That is said to be the capital M. The magnetic induction B produced inside the material. How many lines of force are passing through the material and how many lines of force are allowing by the material per unit area is represented with B. That is given by B is equal to mu naught into H plus M. It depends on two parameters, magnetic field strength, and it also depends on the magnetization M. So that proportionality gives us a constant value, gives us that is equal to the permeability of the free space, that is B is equal to mu naught into 1 plus M by M upon H into H. H is taken as the common factor here. H is taken as a common factor here. So from that magnetic field intensity depends on mu naught into 1 plus M upon H into H. 1 plus M upon H is represented with psi into H. B is equal to mu into H. Here we can directly understand that magnetic field induction is also directly depends on the magnetic field strength H. That directly depends is gives us a constant value, that is permeability. Permeability mu naught represents the permeability of free space. Its value is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 Henry per meters. And mu represents the permeability of the air. So mu is called the absolute permeability of the medium. Sorry, mu is the absolute permeability of the medium. Mu naught represents the permeability of the free space having the particular constant value of 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7 Henry per meters. In free space, m is equal to 0 and b is equal to mu naught into h. If you substitute m is equal to 0 for the case of free space, then we will modify the above equation as b is equal to mu naught into h. This relation is also important. Relation between the b, h and m. We know that b is directly depends on induction. How many lines of force will be allowed by the material is directly depends on strength of field and the type of magnetism, means magnetization of the material. So B is equal to directly depends on H plus M. B is equal to mu naught into H plus M. That we can write that B is equal to mu naught into 1 plus psi. Okay, that represents the relation between the B and H and M. Next one is what is this absolute permeability. So we can understand from these lines, when a magnetic material is placed in a magnetic field, the magnetic lines of force are redistributed and tend to pass through the material. We know that when you apply the magnetic field on the materials, though that magnetic field is imagined to be a lines of force, those lines of force are passes through the material. The absolute permeability of the material is measure of the degree which the field lines of force penetrate the material. How the lines of force are penetrating through the material, how the material is allowing the lines of force is said to be the permeability of magnetic lines of force, allowing the lines of force through the material. It is defined as the ratio of the magnetic induction B into the H. We know that mu is equal to B upon H. The unit of absolute permeability is Henry per meter. Relative permeability, it is a ratio of the permeability of the free space and the permeability of the medium. Mu r is the only number, has no units. Its value for air or vacuum is 1. Relation between the mu r and H. So this is mu r is the relative permeability ratio of the mu and mu naught. So psi is the susceptibility. So from this we need to get from these four lines we need to understand the relation between the magnetic induction and the relative permeability and psi. So we know that this relation, this we got from the relation of B, H and M. B is equal to mu naught into 1 plus psi into H. So substitute here B is equal to mu into H. Mu naught into, we know that mu is the mu naught into 1 plus psi. Mu r is equal to 1 plus mu upon mu naught. Taken mu naught to the left hand side, we will get mu r. Mu r is equal to 1 plus psi. This is the relation between the mu r and psi. So last definition in this definition part, Bohr magneton. So Bohr magneton is the elementary electron magnetic moment, and no electron can have a magnetic moment below it. Bohr magneton is a value, that is the minimum magnetic moment of the magnetic materials. We know that magnetic materials can be measured using the magnetic moment, means how they are responding to the external field, or we can say that the torque experienced by the materials when they are kept in the magnetic field, that is said to be the magnetic moment. The minimum magnetic moment of the materials is said to be the Bohr magneton. If you want to measure the magnetic moment of any particular material, that we can measure in the multiples of Bohr magneton, because this is a basic or fundamental value of the magnetic moment. Multiples of this magnetic moment will give us the particular magnetic moment of the materials. Here we can understand this Bohr magneton is the elementary electron magnetic moment, and no material have a magnetic moment below it. It is the natural unit of for the measurement of the atomic magnetic moments. Its value is, so this is the formula for to understand the magnetic moment. E into H upon 4 pi. It is also having derivation. Bohr magnetic Bohr magneton mu b is equal to, this is the value. So any magnetic moment of material is the multiples of a Bohr magnet, like that, that is 3 mu b, 4 mu b, 5 mu b, like that. These are the basic definitions in the magnetism. Please go through the these magnetism definitions. We will tomorrow in this next lecture I am going to explain about uh, origin of magnetism, types of magnetic materials, and uh, how applications of magnetic materials. Thank you.